Welcome back to an exciting YouTube video, and today we are part 3 on our lessons of how to play fast, so get ready. Alright, so here we are on part 3. We are slowly moving. The skin is peeling off of my fingertips. We've been playing so much lately that all the skin, my calluses are peeling off, and it drives me crazy because it hangs up on my strings and I do not like it. So we're moving on to part 3. We're going to pick up where we left off on part 2, and we're going to add some seriously cool things into it. And this lesson is going to be very fun because everything to this point has been boring as shit. Boring. I would rather have my balls smashed flat with a wooden mallet than to continue doing these same old boring ass exercises. So unfortunately, that is part of the deal. You've got to go through A to get to D. Like I said in probably every damn video I've ever shot. We got to go through B and C, and B and C is the work, and that's the part we're doing right now, is the work. And while we're sitting here, we're going to adjust the microphone because it's probably in the damn camera way. So regardless of that, but we're also going to add something really cool because exercising can be fun. And speaking of, now that I've gotten over my COVID and I'm 95% back to being a human being, I've gotten back into the gym, trying to get back all the weight that I lost when I was shacked up in bed. Sicker than hell, dude. That sucked. Again, that goes back to I'd rather have my balls smashed flat with a wooden mallet than go through that again. And if you've never had your balls, and if you've never had your balls smashed flat with a wooden mallet, it is not fun. I do not recommend it to anybody. So, on that note, quick story. I'm divorced twice. And when I got divorced, I left everything. I just walked the hell out of the door. And this is just something I have to share to show you how stupid I am. So my entire living room, besides, guitar gear and cabs and pianos and shit, is cameras and lights. I've got cameras and lights and microphones everywhere in here. So I go out on a date and, show the girl where I live, bring her home, not thinking whatsoever because I'm a dumbass. And as we're coming up to the door, not thinking, I open the door to step in, and I realize right at that moment, holy shit, my entire living room is cameras, lights, and microphones. This girl is going to freak the hell out. And sure enough, man, when she walked in and saw all that stuff, I could see the look in her face. And she was like, holy shit, what did I just get into? This guy's some kind of porn king or something. It was, at the moment it wasn't funny, but afterwards, so after a lot of fast talking and convincing her that I had a YouTube channel, she eased up a little bit and finally got her into the living room, said, if you want to call this a living room, and showed her my gear and what I do, showed her my YouTube channel. So just a note, if at one point you become a single dude like me and you're out playing the field, and I gotta be honest, I don't play the field because the field's really big and I just suck at it. God, women are difficult. When I was a kid, women were easy. They were easy. Now, oh my God, you gotta be careful what you say, careful what you do. Am I taking her to the right place? Am I taking her to the wrong place? You just, hell, am I even making her happy? Oh, it's hard to date now. But if you find yourself in the position I'm in and you've got a house full of camera gear and it's the first thing they see when they walk in, take note. You might want to hide that shit beforehand and just explain to her why you have no furniture, because it's a hell of a lot easier. So that's my story for the day. But on that note, back at the gym, feeling good. Finally, God almighty, man. I was feeling terrible. Let's grab a guitar and let's get started. So, guitar. So here we are with the trusty Ibanez, and I've got my strap on because every good man needs a strap on. Shit, if I'd have had one of those in here when I brought that girl home, oh my God, I'd never seen her again. Well, and you know, well, no, I gotta say it, we're not dating. I think she just freaked her out too much. Or maybe she just didn't like me. I'll probably go with B, she just didn't like me. I don't blame her. Oh, wrong channel, wrong channel. So here we go. All right, we're going to get into a couple of new things this time. This is going to be pretty cool because we're going to pick up where we left off. You know, because we left off. I'm going to call this exercise 3, where we did the we were at the 7th fret, and we did the 1 3 2 4 exercise, and we did it up and down the fretboard. So I'm going to call that exercise 3, and I'm going to start making notation of that because I'm going to start putting tabs up. Finally got my Patreon page set up, and I got to be honest, I had no idea what I was doing. I spent 2 days dicking with that damn thing. And I went in there and watched probably 9 million. I mean, looked at 9 million other Patreon. It sucked, but I got it up. So it is patreon.com/Trace Taylor Music, I think. I'll have to go look. I have no idea. And on that note of my Patreon page that I got set up, I got 3 different tiers on there. I do have an artist that is doing my artwork for the shirts that I'm going to put out, some swag. They're going to be seriously badass. These things are just going to be awesome. They're absolutely going to be awesome. And of course, you know, contributing to the Patreon page, let's just be honest. It lets me quit my damn full-time job so I can do this shit full-time. And we can all enjoy our lives a little more because I love doing this. I just don't have a lot of time. So hopefully I'll get to that one point to where this is all I got to do, and that would be fantastic. So I'm going to tell you, YouTube channel's a lot of work, man. And I mean, oh my God, with cameras and lenses and lights, man, I got so much money invested in this. And of course, I do have a video production company too that I run on the side with my daughter. So that's actually how I ended up with all this gear. But I got a video of my new camera. It's badass. My Blackmagic 6K cinema camera, which is what I'm shooting on right now. Anyway, back to it. So we did exercise 3, and we did the 1 3 2 4, and we went all the way down and all the way back up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to call that exercise 3. So we're going to move on to exercise 3B right now. It is the same exact exercise, and I'm going to do it at the 7th fret. You can do it at whatever fret you want, but as always, I recommend starting at 5 and going up to 12 because we've got to get this ingrained into our just into our hands. Didn't know what I was going to say there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start 7, and of course, even though we're 7. We're calling this 1 1 2 3 4 because we're going by the fingers, not by the fret markers. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the E string, and we're going to start, remember, alternate pick, alternate pick, alternate pick. And we're going to do 1 3 2 4, but we're going to skip down to the D string. We're going to jump across A. So we're going to go 1 3 2 4, 1 3 2 4. Come back up to A, 1 3 2 4. Jump down to the G string, 1 2 3 4, back up to the D string, 1 3 2 4, down to the B string, 1 3 2 4, back up to the D string, 1 3 2 4, and down to the E. So, and yes, on my Patreon page, I will be putting up tabs. The tabs will go up the day after the lesson goes up. I'll put the lesson up, and then the tabs will be following a day, maybe 2, depending on, you know, what else I got going on in my life. Because like I said, I do work a full-time job also, and I do this just when I can squeeze in the time. So in between the job, the band, my video production company, and this, it's hard. So the tabs will be up to follow. So here we go. So we're going to do it again, and we're going to do this slow without the metronome. And the reason we're doing this is because not every passage you play is going to go from one string to the next. We got to start getting into our mindset. And we are moving very fast for lessons. If this was something I had somebody coming to my house, we wouldn't be moving as fast, but this is YouTube world. And a lot of people already beyond this or already up to this point. A lot of people are new. So we are going to speed this up on some of the things and just, work at it at your own pace. And the lessons will be there forever. So you can just always go back and forth and look at them. So we've got to start skipping strings because that is part of playing, and it's definitely part of playing fast. You're not going to always play in a descending pattern from string to string. Things are going to, you're going to be skipping around, moving around on strings depending on what you play. So start doing that, and then you got to do it again. Remember, we got to do it ascending and descending. So descending, we're going to start with an upstroke, and this time it's going to be 4, 2, 3, 1. And we're going to go from the E string, let's just say the 1 string, because this is string 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to go from 1 to 3 to 2 to 4 to 3 to 5, from 4 to 6. And work on that. And as always, like I say, start at 5 and go up to 12, because we've got to start getting these things ingrained into your head, into your noggin, to that big old bulbous thing on your shoulders right there. So work on that. And that is going to be exercise 3B. 3B, and the tablature will be up within a day or two onto my Patreon page. 3B. Remember 3B. And I'm also going to go back and just do 3A. I guess we'll just call that one 3A, where we just did the regular, that one. So we'll call that one 3A, and the other one will be 3B. So work on those exercises. Okay, now we're going to come into something else. Now we're going back to the right hand, because this is not only about the left. We had a very, very small amount of information we did in the first video on the right hand. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start having a little bit more fun with the right hand. And then we're going to do another exercise after that, which we're going to have a lot more fun with the right and the left hand. And let me tell you, when you can double hand it, double fist it, trust me, shit gets better all the time. So moving on, we are going to get our trusty metronome. You know how I feel about metronomes. And as the great Sammy Hagar said, you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm, and nothing falls into place. And that is the truest statement I've ever heard in my life. Not only does that work for guitar playing, it works for everything in your life. If you miss the beat, you lose the rhythm, and nothing falls into place. And shit balls, is that the truest thing. It's probably how I got divorced. I missed the beat and I lost the rhythm. And then there was nothing in place at that point. But I digress. All right, so moving on, what we're going to do here. Okay, we're going to do this at 75 beats a minute. Metronome, 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 metronome. Damn, say that 10 times fast. Metronome, 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 metronome. I can't do it. We're going to start this a little slow. We're going to do 75 beats a minute. Sounds like this. Slow and boring. But we're going to have some fun with this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this out to the full beat and just grab you a string. I'm here on the 4th string at the G. G. And if you don't know how to find notes, if you know the notes of this string, just find the octave. Go up 2, go down 2. This is a G, so that means this has to be a G. That is the octave. And another way to look at this real quick, I got a video up on finding any chord on the guitar. If you haven't seen it, you might want to check that out. If this is your root, the G, this is your perfect 5th, which is your power chord. And it sounds in harmony. Well, if you go down one more, that is your octave. And obviously, sounds in harmony also. So you have root, 5th, octave, G. Okay, moving on. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this thing out, and we're going to strike it 1 time per click. Just grab you a note. Remember, my guitar is tuned down a half step, but I promise you, I'm going to pretty much dedicate this guitar, this one, to my YouTube channel. So I'm going to go ahead and set it back up to standard, and just leave all my other ones down a half step, and I'll use those for my shows, for my gigs. So here we go. So I'm here at the G, and we're going to follow the click, and we're going to do 1 stroke per click. All right, and you're going to alternate pick that down, up, down, up, down, up. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to start changing the speed of this hand playing at the same tempo. Because when you are soloing, you're not always playing do 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 do. At one point you're going to be playing do 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 do, and you're going to be all over the place. So we've got to start getting things working and thinking in that direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and we're going to start this one at one note, which is basically quarter notes. 4 equals a whole note. So these are going to be 4 quarter notes, and then we're going to switch it to 8 eighth notes. So here we go. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's pretty simple. That's cool. That should not be that hard for you to do. And because all we're doing is we're just doubling our time. We're keeping the same exact tempo, but we're doubling our time. You get a half time fill, double time. That's what we're doing. So, but now we're going to pull this into triplets. And here's where it's going to get a little weirder because it's an otter fill. An otter? Otter. O-T-T-E-R? O-D-D-E-R. Otter. It's a weirder fill when you're counting this out. And you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just an odd fill when you jump into those triplets. So this time we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's probably going to stump you because going into those triplets, it's just an odd feel when you're subdividing it into threes as opposed to doing it in 2s and 4s where everything's just nice and round and circular. When you subdivide it into the 3s, that's when it kind of gets a strange feel to it. But this is a great exercise because we got to start getting, like I said, things moving in both hands and getting things synced up. Right now, we're just worried about that one note for this exercise right now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to divide it again, but now we're going to go into 4s. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's why we're only at 75 beats a minute because even if you might be able to play those, playing all those in one exercise, when you hit those triplets, it gets a little trickly. It gets a little tricky because it feels like a shift in time, even though it's not. But it's just an odd feeling. So here we go. We're going to cycle the whole thing. Each time we're going to come back to 1 for this exercise. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now what you want to do is you want to move this up incrementally on your metronome. You don't want to go from 75 to 150. Not going to work. I would go from 75 to 80 or maybe 85 because let me tell you, once you start getting around 100, all of a sudden, we've subdivided this down to we're doing 4 notes. So we're actually doing 16th notes there. Things start moving pretty quick. So at 100, now we're going to do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And all of a sudden, things are starting to move a lot faster. So you want to go up incrementally, not make big jumps. And because it's an odd feel. I mean, you could probably take that up to whatever and just grab it. and just, play the one note easily. But when you're transitioning from the different speeds, even though we're at the same tempo, we're transitioning to different speeds, and that adds a whole different feel to it. But it's just such a great exercise to get you used to doing things. If you're playing with your band and you're doing something at 80 beats a minute, you're just kind of like into the groove, dun 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 dun, then you can just start cooking or whatever you want to do. So you've got to be able to work through those transitions. So work on that, and that is going to be exercise number 4. Exercise number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be exercise number 4. So here we go. Work on that. Like I said, right now we're just doing on the one note because this is about right hand. We got some good left hand stuff going. Now we're back onto the right hand stuff. Start around 75 if that's too fast for you to make the transitions. And it may be when you get to the triplets, because that's just such an odd feel. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you do it. It's just a weird feel jumping into the triplets from those nice even round numbers. If 75 is too fast, back it down to 60 or whatever. And trust me, you'll get your speed up relatively quick. And then you'll get to the point where you got to start wrestling it. And then when you get to the, let's say 100, when you get to the 16th notes and it's too fast, then back it back down to, say, 95 and see if you can do it. If you can do it at 95, then slowly work your way back up to 100. Keep working it, you will get it. And then we'll expand on exercise 4 later on in the video series. But right now, we're going to do another exercise, and actually this time we're going to have some fun. So we're going to give us a little bit of a dirty channel. Boop, boop. And what we're going to do, we do this song, my band does, and this is actually a fantastic exercise too. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit out of Whitesnake, Still of the Night. And actually, let me go back to a clean channel to get this started so you can hear what's going on. All right, now it's time to have some fun. Exercising can't be fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this little passage from Whitesnake. Yeah, Whitesnake, Still of the Night. My band does this. This is actually one of my favorite songs to play live. And this is just such a great exercise. And again, I will put tabs up for this. For those of you who do get lost, or I'm sure there's tabs everywhere, but I will put tabs up. So this is so much fun. I love this part. And this is the part of the song, My Great Dane, this is the part of the song where it's actually a synthesizer doing a dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. But this is actually a damn good exercise for your guitar too. Because what's going on is when we start on this E, we're striking this string, and these are the notes, the bass notes that are going to move around on us. C, D, and E, which is going to be 3, 5, and 7. Each time we hit one of these notes, it's only going to be 2 strokes on that string, then 6 notes on the next string until we get to the second half of the riff. So what happens here is we're going to start at the E, which this is on string 5, fret 7. And we're going to strike it twice, and we're going to alternate pick this entire passage. And we're going to go from 5, 7th fret, to string 4, 4th fret, string 4, 5th fret, string 4, 4th fret. Now each press of the finger gets 2 strokes, but you have 2 strokes on this string, and we're going to have 6 on this string. So here is the first one, and we're going to do this slow so you can see what's going on. And that's the first part. Moving to the second part, we go to the C, and here 4 and 5 on the 4th string remains the constant. And it repeats that passage. And this is a great, great exercise. So let's break this down. So on the 5th string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7th fret, you're going to strike it 2 times with your pinky. Use number 4. Index finger is going to go 4, 4, and that's how I'm going to call this out. The first number will always be the string. The second number will always be the fret. For instance, this one is string 5, fret 7. string 4, fret 4, string 4, fret 5. So right here, we're going to have 5, 7, 4, 4, 4, 5. Back to 4, 4. And each one of these is going to get 2 strokes. Alternate pick everything. It repeats that. Now we're going to go to the C here. So we are going to be at string 5, fret 3. So this is 5, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. Then we go straight into the next part of the lick without a break there. And now we're going to be at 5, 5. Remember, this is the constant right here. So how you break this down is your pinky, string 4, is going to be here at the 7th fret. And then you're going to use your index finger and your middle finger for these two. Pinky, pinky. Now we're going to shift. We're going to use our index finger here at 3, and then we're going to use our middle finger, 2, and then we're going to use our ring finger, 3, here at 4 and 5. Now we got to go to the D, so we're going to reach up with finger number 3, our ring finger. Great exercise. And we're going to repeat that whole section, and I'm going to do the whole thing slow. Then it repeats. All right, that's the first half of the riff, and that is a great, great riff. And we're only going to do the first half right now because this is probably not going to be as easy as you think it is, because I think I said in one of the previous videos, one of the hardest picking passages is 2 notes per string. It's just hard. 2 notes per string is hard. You can ask any guitar player, I don't care how great they are, 2 notes per string is the hardest because it just doesn't flow like 3 notes or 4 notes does. It doesn't flow at all. So we're just going to do the first half of this. And if you've got some distortion, dude, you can just have a ball with this thing. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get some distortion on this. And usually when I'm playing this live, I palm mute the C, D, and E. I palm mute those notes when I do it. And then when I'm doing it live, I throw in a lot of harmonics. When I go into the second part, love throwing in my harmonics on that. And something we'll cover later in case you don't know what a harmonic is. But regardless, work on that part of it. And what you want to do, again, is grab your metronome. Always your metronome. Everything in this world revolves around a metronome. 100 beats a minute right there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then work your way up from there. Let's say 100. Let's say we go to 1, 2, 5. It's going to pick the tempo up a bit. And remember the position of your hands. Then we got... Remember the position of your hands, because you are going to have to shift right here. Which is another exercise we're going to get into, is shifting. 'Cause, you know, this hand's got to get where it needs to go, and it's got to get there quick. So let's say we bump this up to 150, and all of a sudden, this is starting to get pretty fun. Great exercise, great exercise. And what makes this exercise good is because, like I said, the 2 notes per string is the hardest one to pick. So we got this, even though everything's on this is very cyclic, the tempo's not changing on this part. But we got 2, then we got 6 on the next string. 2 notes per fret. And then we got this little shift here. Shift. So this is actually tackling a few things at one time. We're having to do a little bit of shifting, which is good, because that's something we're going to work more and more and more on. We're getting that good alternate pick exercise workout in, and we've got this little 2 notes per string here, and then we got, you know, from 2 to 6, and it gets even better when we do the second half of this lick. And we go, and then we've just got some good note movement here. And these type of exercises, because you can relate to it, and it makes it fun to do the exercises. Because this is a song you probably know, and you may or may not know how to play that part. Listen to the song, and it's just fun. And this adds more fun to practicing, because believe it or not, when I'm going to a show and doing my little workouts and all that stuff, this is actually one of the exercises that I do, because it's just fun, and I like the progression of it, and I like, the picking structure of it. And if you think, well, hell, that's easy, crank your metronome up to about 200 beats a minute and try it then. Guess what? It's not easy then. It starts to get very hard, especially when we get to the second half. But I don't want to get into the second half tonight, because I just want to get into this part, the first half, so you can start working that down, and we can get some things going, because now we're going to start turning some things up, and we're going to start having a lot more fun, but things are also going to get a lot more complicated. And like I said, if it's moving too fast, stop, breathe, go back, work on some other stuff, because like I said, there's a million exercises here, and in the few videos we've done on this, we've actually covered pretty much the basic exercises. There's really not anything more you need to know on those basic exercises. So we're going to start moving things forward pretty tough. And just to give you an idea of what's coming up, yeah, that's a bitch. So that's some of the fun things that are coming up. And also, as we move on, we are going to keep breaking down different parts of different guitar solos that I think are really good exercises, because we're just getting started. I mean, we've got so much to cover in order to make you just a king of badassery. Because here's the deal. Let's switch this over a couple of channels. It all comes down to badassery, plain and simple. If you are a great guitar player and you're on stage with your band, but you're not badass, nobody's going to notice anything about you. If you're a solid, mediocre guitar player, but you are full of badassery, everybody in that crowd is going to think you are a guitar god. When it comes to playing in a band, it's about one thing and one thing only: the show. That's it. I would rather see a mediocre band that puts on an amazing show that is just fun than seeing a great band where I'm just bored off my ass. So, in subsequent videos down the road, we're actually going to talk about the show, because the show is what it all comes down to. On that note, I was supposed to say subscribe to my channel at the beginning of the video, and I did not do it again. That's going to be a tough one for me to break. On that note, if you have any comments, please put it in the comments section. If you have any questions, put it in the comments section. Please subscribe to my channel. I do have my Patreon page up. It is patreon.com/, I think that's what that is. My part is Trace Taylor Music. I don't know what the rest of it is. And on there, you can subscribe if you would like. You're welcome to subscribe. And I've got some really cool stuff that is coming up that will be going up on my Patreon page. I'm very new at Patreon, so give me a break. But the tabs will be going up on everything we just did. It will be a day, maybe 2 days, until I can get my schedule a little more organized where I have time to actually do everything in a day, get it up, posted, blah, 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 blah. And like I said, as soon as I get my artwork done from the artist who is drawing my stuff, dude, I've got the coolest shirt that is coming out. And remember I talking about the show? If you wear this shirt, you're already in the show. Because this shirt is badass. And you're going to love it. I guarantee it. And it's actually going to be the new logo for my channel. Maybe, possibly. Because I got some things I'm working on. So anyway, one more time. If you have any comments, put it in the comments section. If you have any questions, put it in the comments section. I love comments. I love questions. If you need to know something, shoot me a line. And if I don't know, trust me, I know the people who do know, and I will get you back an answer. So sometimes if I don't answer that day, it's because I'm out researching what the hell's going on. The guy who does all my guitar work, Ricky, my buddy, he's just an amazing guitar tech. And that's where I learned how to set everything up, is from Rick. And if I don't have an answer, I promise you, I will get it. If I got to call Rick and say, Rick, how do we do this? He will tell me. I'm trying to get him on my channel. Real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to pull this knob out, move my tone knob down here, put a kill switch in, because I love this guitar, but my hand hits that volume knob. And after playing my EVHs and then my 5320 and my 1120 Ibanez, the 5320 is like this. That knob's in my way, but the 1120, you know, the volume knob's down here, and I just love that. I love that. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to try to talk him into letting me shoot a video of him wiring this up when we do it. Because I love stuff like this. So, whatever instrument you are playing, whatever it is, except for the flugelhorn. We're not going to talk about the flugelhorn ever on this channel. It is gear, guitars, and everything music, but we will not be discussing the flugelhorn at no point. Whatever instrument you are playing, play it to the best of your ability and practice, practice, practice. And for the love of God, metronome, metronome, metronome. To phrase the great, great Sammy Hagar again. You miss the beat, you lose the rhythm, and nothing falls into place. And guess what? You're playing at home in your bedroom with yourself the rest of your life. Let's get that timing down. Timing is everything. Until the next video, which hopefully will be up very, very soon. Rock on.